Tennessee Life is sponsored by
Mid-South Sewing is an authorized brother dealer and repairs all brands of machines. Mid-South Sewing, known for their many fabrics, classes, and individual instructions. Classes on sewing and embroidery machines, software, sergers, and quilting. Mid-South Sewing, Knoxville and Murfreesboro.
Tennessee Life is also brought to you by Next to New, an upscale consignment shop serving Knoxville. nexttonewknox.com. And by The Flower Pot, for over 100 years, offering flowers and same-day delivery with 2 convenient Knoxville locations. knoxvilleflowerpot.com. And by viewers like you. Thank you. Coming up, according to Time Lapse, Knoxville is the burger capital of America. And for that reason, burgers are on the menu for this edition of Tennessee Live. From butcher to burger maker, we have a story behind Litton's transition from grocery store to restaurant.
The very first burger here that I made was, I had an electric skillet that I was cooking my own lunch in. And so this guy came in one day and said, well, how about a hamburger?
In order to build a great burger, you've got to start with the basics. Mitchell Family Farm prides itself in raising beef for Tennessee restaurants.
Our focus has been on ground beef. We are virtually whole cow hamburger.
And we check out some of the unique flavor combinations at the Stock and Barrel restaurant, where burgers and bourbon go hand in hand.
Everybody, I think, has their own idea of what a great burger is. We would try to make it, I guess, go past that and try to take it to another level.
Burgers, the Tennessee way. Next.
Thanks for joining us for this edition of Tennessee Life. I'm Vicki Lawson. Today we bring you a show to tempt your taste buds as we explore the love for the hamburger. Whether you crave old-fashioned basic goodness or trendy new toppings and combinations, Tennesseans can find their version of the perfect burger. We start with a visit to a restaurant where the burger has remained the menu cornerstone for generations. Barry Litton created the first Litton's burger on a grill in his meat market on a whim. Today, people are still coming back for it and many more menu creations at this Knoxville restaurant. Well, I'm sitting here with Barry Litton and this delicious looking burger and fries and onion rings. Thank you, Barry, for joining us today.
Thanks for having us.
Tell me a little bit about how Litton's got its start.
I guess we go all the way back to my grandfather, Eldridge Litton. He moved to Inskip in 1946. A few years after that, he had my father come in as a partner, and that store continued until 1976. We had another store in Anderson County that we ran for a couple of more years, got out of that, and then moved here in '80.
So you didn't start out in the restaurant business, you were in food a different way.
Right, yeah, we had grocery stores, and then around, I think 60, right around 60, 61 or 2, we had remodeled the grocery store, kind of moved it from a feed and hardware into the modern day era. Along with it, we had a butcher that started cooking product, and we started selling barbecues and hot dogs and hamburgers, 4 for $1. And that was really pretty interesting. We had a lot of volume and a little bit of money. I remember we did strawberry pies, because that was really big at Shawnee's, and they'd sell the whole strawberry pies. And we'd go around to the grocery stores and get the berries, and we'd have to cap them and put them in and bake the pies. And so yeah, the food part has gone back, and we learned how to do it from scratch, because you didn't have the product that you do today that is already finished up. You know, we had to be the starting and the cooking and the finishing of it.
Do you have any early memories of working with your dad?
I remember one summer I took and I grew green beans in a garden next door to our house, and after about, when they started coming in, and I had to pick bushels, I think for $4 a bushel he paid me. I think I had a couple hours working that, and I said, this just doesn't make it, you know. So yeah, I did that, and I got to clean up and buy groceries.
Tell me what you remember about the very first burger that you made.
I had an electric skillet that I was cooking my own lunch in, and a guy that had come by and was cooking some, and a steamer, I was doing some little hoagies and stuff like that, and I'd sell maybe 6 or 7 sandwiches a day. And me and a friend of mine, we'd eat 2 or 3 of them. And so this guy came in one day and said, well, how about a hamburger? So I said, okay. And I put that 8 ounces of meat that I had in the counter, and I patted it out kind of oblong to go on a deli bun. And I put it in with 2 strips of bacon so it'd have a little grease. And I ran across the street to the white store. It was over there. Got some lettuce, tomato, and onion, and came back and turned the burger and fixed it up and put it on the hoagie bun, cut it in half, and he ate that, and he brought back 3 people, which made 4, and I served 4 hamburgers the next day, and that was kind of the beginning.
Tell me, what is the Litton's burger?
It's ground round or top round, choice, because you've got to have the fat content. The hindquarter meat is very dry. It's not like front quarter meat, like where the ground chuck comes from, you know? And so we grind it once so that there's little particles of fat in there, so as we put it on the charbroiler, it explodes. And when we do it, we have a seasoning that we put in it. It's Praise-All. It's not called Praise-All anymore, but that's our seasoning. I've had restaurant guys over the years ask me what it is, and they said, would you tell me? And I said, yeah. And they said, well, why would you tell me? And I said, because you're probably not going to spend the money that it costs to buy that product to make a hamburger out of it. And they won't. It's more expensive than just ground beef. So that's it. It's USDA choice top round, no fillers, no additives, and seasoning.
And just, it's perfect.
Ground once.
So you were a butcher by trade.
I was a butcher, from the grocery business.
What do you remember about those days?
Long, hard hours, but it was a job. It was a good job. I mean, you worked hard, and I go back and I'll cut the steaks, and you know, I cut up stuff. I even brought an old handsaw out the other day. It was really challenging because I was cutting a 12-ounce steak, and I got them right close to where they needed to be.
Tell me about the first days when it became a restaurant. When did that start? When did the restaurant start?
Kind of got drug into it, you know, little bit by little bit, and we would only fix lunch, and then I started staying open on Friday nights, and I think that's really when it first started becoming a restaurant. Linda, my baker, she would come and she baked a few things, and she'd wait on the people, and she'd come up to the counter and give the orders. We would sit down, and we only had 4 tables. We learned how to start waiting on people, and you know, we would serve steaks and seafood and hamburgers, and we probably wouldn't serve 25 people a night.
What year was that?
That was in, well, it was before I moved around the corner, so that had to be in '82.
In '82. Tell me how your menu has expanded and you started adding more, because you still kept the feel of the market in with your restaurant. You've always kept that little bit of foundation, I think.
I think it's just listening to the customers. You know, we were okay with just limited menu, but we had such a repeat business. People were coming in every day, and I think they were getting tired of just a hamburger. So we said, what are we going to do? And one of the first things we did was homemade chicken salad with fruit. And we had a chicken salad fruit plate, you know, so that was a biggie. And then we started doing green beans and adding that, and we started adding fried chicken, and we started adding, you know, daily lunch specials and things. So we just kept moving with the times. We kept moving with customer requests. We stayed real close to what they were asking and what they wanted.
Obviously, burger is the king here. What are some of your other main dishes?
Burgers are 35–38% of our business. And then when you start leveling out, the next plateau of that would be desserts. Desserts are 20% of our business. And then when you come down from there, you've got about 12% are plate lunches. So if you look at the plates and the dinner parts, that's about 20%. What we do in ribeye dinners and fresh scrod dinners.
You're also known for your scrumptious desserts. Tell me about the bakery part of your restaurant.
It starts out with the red velvet, that's #1. Coconut pies kicked in there really pretty good. You know, that was an item that we just did one day or 2 days a week, and Southern Living liked it, and they come in and popped it out there, and so we're doing it every day now. And so that's one of the mainstays.
Tell me some of the awards and accolades that you've received over the years that come to mind.
Well, you know, the first one started back with the doggy bag, and that was the first vacation I'd ever taken. We were still back over in the little place, and it was just counter service, and I was at Hilton Head, and I was taking 3 days off, and went down there, and the 2 guys that were running it for me, they called and they said, my gosh, they're out the door. I said, they're lined up out the door, so we were in the doggy bag. And that was the biggie. That was the start of everything. And they put us in there as a 10. And that was back during the Bo Derek era, and it wasn't a 10 burger or a 10-inch burger or anything else. It was just that it was a perfect burger. And people had read it, and they lined up out the door before we ever opened. So I had to get in the car and get back, you know. So that really kind of started the thing. And then over the years, just more and more articles. One of the big ones, too, was the day after Christmas. We got a full page in the News Sentinel on going out and eating hamburgers. You know, you're tired of the turkey and the ham and all the stuff that goes on for that. And that moved business 28% in 1 year. And they, again, kind of piled in on us from that one article, you know, and we had to get our feet under us. It took a long time. So really, it's never stopped.
So you've seen a lot of restaurants come and go. Why do you think Litton's is such a mainstay?
I think that the focus that we put, I think that when you look at restaurants that have been around for a long time, I think they keep their focus. I think that in the South, I think that works. I think it's tradition, nostalgia. People come back from year to year, even people that are traveling from up north that have heard about us and they're going to maybe Hilton Head or the Outer Banks or maybe going through to Florida for the wintertime. You know, they'll stop. You kind of know at the same time every year when they're going to come through.
What does it mean for families to bring their loved ones or to come here themselves for special occasions?
Well, I think that's what it's all about. I think whether it's a special occasion or just a Friday night out. You know, we get the same people on Friday night. We get some from La Follette. We get some people from Morristown. We get quite a few people from Seymour, and we get quite a few people from Pigeon Forge and Gatlinburg. We always have, you know, and then we get the Fountain City people.
Barry, thank you so much for joining us today and talking about the delicious food that you prepare here at Litton's. And I've been so tempted by this burger and onion rings and fries that I'm not going to get out of here without trying the delicious taste of it. Here's to Litton's and many more years of successful restaurant business. Thank you.
Thank you. Bon appetit.
Next on Tennessee Life, the Mitchell family farm philosophy when it comes to raising beef for the best burgers. And later, we visit the Tennessee restaurant named as a national top 5 burger spot.
No matter how you top your burger, it all starts with the beef. At Mitchell Family Farm in Blaine, Tennessee, the focus is raising beef to create the ultimate hamburger blend for local restaurants. What makes their beef different? We visited John Mitchell to find out.
We farm about 400 acres in southern Granger County, close to the Knox County line, right across the river from Jefferson County. The road we live on is Mitchell Bend. It's named that because the river's on 3 sides of us, bends all the way around. We're on Mitchell Family Farm in Blaine, Tennessee. I'm the 6th generation to farm this property. My granddad grew up here on this farm in a house right here in this field. My dad grew up on this farm, and now I'm here and raising 2 kids. Went to UT. After I got out of school, I majored in food science. Went to work at Mayfield Dairy in Athens, Tennessee. Worked there for 8 years in the ice cream plant. And just made the decision in '98 to come back and raise our kids on the farm. Cows have to be milked twice a day, every day. Doesn't matter if it's Christmas or 4th of July, they have to be milked. We have to feed them good every day. We raised all their feed. We worked with nutritionists to get their nutrition right, their feed ration to maintain their health and productivity. So they had to be fed every day, twice a day. Traditionally, dairy farmers are on a constant yo-yo with the price system. Some years are really good, some years are so-so, and some years are really bad. And when the down year happened to coincide with some labor issues, and when my dairyman decided to turn in his notice, we had talked about it for 6 months or so, me and my wife, And we just decided that when he turned in his notice that we were going to transition to beef. When we transitioned, we were used to dealing with Holsteins, which is the traditional black and white milk cow. And what a lot of people don't realize is for every 2 milk cows, when they reproduce, there's going to be 1 steer. People don't realize what a huge part of the beef industry Holstein steers have. And since we were used to dealing with the Holstein cows and raising their young, we stuck with the Holstein breed. And that's what you see behind us is what most people would think is a milk cow, but all those are male steers. When we were still milking, we had to sell milk to the processor through a middleman. Since when we transitioned to beef, we decided to do a more farm to table. I have the steers processed at an inspected facility, and so I can sell directly to the public. I've got several restaurants in Knoxville that buy our beef and go to one farmer's market at New Harvest Park in East Knoxville, Tennessee. I really like going to the farmer's markets. You get to see a lot of new faces. You get regular customers come back. A lot of people are really into the farm to table. Get to know your farmer. I have a lot of people that come and ask questions, and I get to tell them about our operation and really get to hopefully help educate people about where their food comes from. When we first started our beef sales, we wanted to focus on hamburger. We wanted people to have the best hamburger they've ever had. And we decided that instead of a traditional processing where you cut out every conceivable retail cut, we were going to take out the 3 premium loins and grind the rest of the roast and other lean cuts that aren't typically put into hamburger and try to make a premium, best burger you've ever had product. One of the biggest differences, since we are selling to the public, is we have to make a couple of routes to town a week with our products to deliver to our customers. In fact, our biggest hamburger customer, the Stock and Barrel on Market Square, was just recently recognized by TripAdvisor as the 5th best hamburger restaurant in the United States. The loins that I take out, we've got a few restaurants that take those. Knox Mason, which is on the 100 block of Gay Street, Plaid Apron in Sequoia Hills, Crown and Goose. And aside from those restaurants, I've got 2 stores that carry our product that the public can go visit. The 3 Rivers Market on Central, Pratt's Country Store in Fountain City area. Aside from supplying the public with hamburgers and beef, I like it myself. I mean, we eat our own product almost every day. Like I said earlier, I'm the 6th generation. I've got 2 kids, 2 teenage kids of my own, both in college, and I hope that someday that they'll be able to make the same decision I did and keep Mitchell Family Farm in the family.
If burger names like the Hurt Locker and the Ring of Fire don't draw you in, perhaps the Bourbon will. That's the barrel part of the Stock and Barrel restaurant in Knoxville. This burger and bar restaurant concept recently received a big boost when TripAdvisor named it one of the top 5 places in the country to grab a hamburger. Lucky for Tennesseans, we don't have far to go to order one.
Everybody, I think, has their own idea of what a great burger is. They have a certain bun they like, they have a certain way it's cooked, they just have a certain toppings that they like. But we would try to make it, I guess, go past that and try to take it to another level with the different toppings that go with it, some that people may not have tried, different pairings, and different meats as well. You know, we carry game meats, we have elk, we have bison, just some of the stuff that people aren't really used to seeing. We knew we wanted just to keep it simple, and we really brought in the local aspect of it. So we wanted to use local farmers, local bakeries, as much local ingredients as we could. We just decided for the burgers, there's so many different ways that you can cook a burger, so many different toppings you can do on a burger, and we really felt like we could do a lot of those and showcase the different flavors, the different profiles, and the different pairings that you could do with just simply an all-American burger. So that's the route we went. My name is Bill Angelos, and I'm one of the partners here at Stock and Barrel on Market Square in Knoxville. Yeah, I'm raised in East Tennessee. I was born in Morristown. Just been in family restaurants. My dad had one. He came over from Greece, so he was in the restaurant business, and I grew up in his, doing as much as I can and learn everything I can. Went to the University of Tennessee and graduated there, and kind of really fell in love with Knoxville, and knew one day that I'd want to open up a restaurant here. Myself and my brother Nico mostly came up with the combinations. We just tested around what we thought people would like. We try to do different profiles for, sweet and savory, spicy and sweet, just to try to make combinations that we think people would really enjoy, and try to do some off the wall kind of stuff as well. Some of our favorite burgers here and most popular, I would say the bison is definitely a big seller. There's not a lot of places that have bison around here, so when people come in, they really want to try that. Also the farmhouse, you got Benton's bacon, you got the Mitchell's Family Farm beef, and then you got a nice fried egg on top, so people really, really enjoy that as well. We really wanted to be driven by the local farmers and local vendors that were around here, so we've tried to stick to that as much as we can, and really showcase what they have. Our beef comes from Mitchell Family Farms. It's in Blaine, Tennessee, which is just right down the road, probably 15 minutes away. We sampled a lot of different beef, and that was always the one that we kept coming back to. So he really does a great job with his beef. And our buns come from Flowerhead Bakery, which is another Knoxville company. We get them baked fresh every day. So I think that's another reason why the burgers are really, really tasty. I mean, people really, really love the bun. We use other local ingredients from farmers markets. Of course, you got Granger County tomatoes and local produce that's grown at these farms that do a really good job. And then we also have Benton's bacon, which is right down the road, right outside Knoxville, and he's done a wonderful job. His stuff is everywhere, so we know we wanted to put that in there. We get our milkshakes as well. Our desserts, not even burger stuff, but our desserts come from Cruz Farms, and their milk and ice cream is some of the best that you can have, and they're another Knoxville company. So there's really, once we were looking around, there's so many great farms and so many great products around here that we really wanted to showcase what Knoxville had to offer. TripAdvisor ranked us number 5 in the country for burger restaurants. We found that out not too long ago, and it was just amazing accolade to add to us since we've been open for just a little bit less than 2 years. So it was really a big accomplishment for us to be on that. That weekend, people were coming in saying they saw us on TV, they saw it online, and they'd never tried it. People from Knoxville and around, and people from other states were just driving by, stopped. So it definitely had and it still is having a great impact on our restaurant. So the barrel part is just good old bourbon and whiskey. There's so many to choose from. We know we wanted to have as big as a list as we could, and try to get a lot of different ones that people weren't used to trying and having around here. We've done a really good job with that, and just trying to make craft cocktails that just go well by themselves, or that really do go pretty well with a burger. We carry about 150 bourbons and whiskeys. That's what we have on our shelf, and we're always getting new ones in every day. We do have a signature cocktail. It's the Bourbon Fizz. We use Bell Mead Bourbon, which is a Nashville company, and they have a great bourbon. And then it's muddled with strawberries, fresh strawberries, and basil to go with it, and then a little bit of simple syrup, and top it off with a little bit of soda water, and garnish it with a strawberry. And that seems to really be a fan favorite.
Strawberry. That's our Bourbon Fizz.
When we want people to come in and really feel at home, that's a big thing we want to do. It's a small restaurant, so people are going to be close together, sitting together, and we really have to have them at kind of an upbeat experience, a very social experience, and it's really like that. Whenever we get busy, you'll see customers talking to the next table and kind of asking them what they have, or I've seen people, pass along food and have them try it before they even order their own. So we really want to have them that kind of great social experience where they're just from start to finish coming in and having just a fun atmosphere and a fun time.
We hope you've enjoyed this tasty edition of Tennessee Life, and we hope you can enjoy your favorite burger soon, whether it's on your own backyard grill or your favorite restaurant. I'm Vicki Lawson. See you next time.
Tennessee Life is sponsored by
Mid-South Sewing is an authorized brother dealer and repairs all brands of machines. Mid-South Sewing, known for their many fabrics, classes, and individual instructions. Classes on sewing and embroidery machines, software, sergers, and quilting. Mid-South Sewing, Knoxville and Murfreesboro.
Tennessee Life is also brought to you by Next to New, an upscale consignment shop serving Knoxville. nexttoknowknox.com, and by The Flower Pot, for over 100 years, offering flowers and same-day delivery with 2 convenient Knoxville locations, knoxvilleflowerpot.com, and by viewers like you. Thank you. A DVD of this program is available by visiting easttennesseepbs.org.